We going up on a Tuesday. Got your girl in the cutting sheet Tuesday. Mike Finch'S going up on a Tuesday. Got your girl in the cutting sheet Tuesday. Full card predictions. I didn't wait for weigh-ins. I'm dropping them now, and I'm dressed up because it's a fucking pay-per-view. It feels like we just got off of a pay-per-view. Canada showed out. I mean, I know Kevin Holland got kicked in the balls, and, you know, Matt Frivola had to be beaten twice, but we still had a lot of fun in Canada. And now we roll into a sick Abu Dhabi fight week. I'm going to break these fucking fights down from the bottom to the top. I'm going to start off with the ladies. We're starting off with Jaqueline, Amorim, and Mizuki, Inoue. Mizuki doesn't fight. It really helps to, like, fight, you know? Mizuki has one fight since COVID. And she's fighting Jaqueline Amorim, American top team, wicked on the ground, right? Young, but trying to be a contender. I think she's going to get cooked. I think this should have made top 5. I'm 5 most confident. I don't know why I didn't throw it on there. Trusting these fucking heavyweights. I think this is a solid one. Jaqueline Amorim probably finds a finish, probably finds a submission. Azat Maksum fighting Mitch Raposo. I'm going to go Azat Maksum. He got fight of the night against Charles Johnson. He got beat up in that 3rd round, but they went to war. Then he draws Tagir Ulanbekov, who he made that thing a fight too. So now he's not a massive underdog. Here he is as the favorite in Abu Dhabi. I think Kazakhstan's going to show out. Mitch Raposo's okay. But there's not a lot of spectacular stuff I'm seeing here. I have a feeling he's going to gas in that 3rd round in this one. I think that Azat Maksum should be able to handle it on the feet, definitely handle it on the ground. Maybe he gets a submission finish. I like him in this matchup. Chris Barnett versus Hamdy Abdelwahab. You got to go with Hamburger Hamdy. What's his fucking Hamdy's Kebabs? Is that his place? You know, you got to go with him. How am I going to trust 39-year-old heavyweight who relies on doing athletic shit, who's got like a bum knee? And, you know, I think Chris Barnett is capable of cracking anyone with a big shot. And Hamdy boxes way too much for an Olympic wrestler. Bruh. You're an Olympic wrestler. You're a heavyweight. You're in the UFC in 2025. And you're up against all of these guys who have suspect grappling. I mean, how is Tai Tuivasa ranked number 10? Please, God, tell me he's not still ranked number 10 in the heavyweight division. Tai Tuivasa. Okay? That is the fucking state of things. And you're going to just get in these, like, close decisions, boxing dudes? What the... If it's energy, right? If the reason why he's not wrestling is because he doesn't want to get tired, stop eating the kebabs. He has to train. He has to work on this. He's got to get out of his comfort zone. So Hamdy should be able to dominate this fight. But what does he do? Maybe gets into, you know, kind of a decently competitive decision, which is mostly kickboxing, with Chris Barnett, who can throw some crazy shit. Give me Hamdy Abdelwahab. Come on. He's got to be able to beat on a Chris Barnett at this point, right? Jesus, Hamdy, make it happen. Jose Delgado versus Nathaniel Wood. This fight is sick. Nathaniel Wood's legit. Jose Delgado is talented. Jose Delgado, more of a finisher, more of an ability to come in there and do damage in a burst. You can hurt him. He'll come back. He's vicious. Nathaniel Wood, I think a little more technically sound, a little more well-rounded, although, you know, Jose Delgado training with Benson Henderson and, you know, being an MMA lab guy, I do think they have him ready for grappling exchanges with a Nathaniel Wood. It's a real test for Delgado. I mean, it's a fun fight. I'm right on the fence, man. 10-1 versus 21-6. You got to respect the experience of Nathaniel Wood. Jose Delgado, I think, has an advantage on the feet. I could see Delgado hurting Nathaniel Wood. I do like that Nathaniel Wood seems to be peaking. Like, he looked really good in his last two. What was it? Morgan Charrier. I'm looking at Jose Delgado right now. Hyder Emil and Connor Matheus can't really offer you that, as to where Nathaniel Wood, I think that's just better. Morgan Charrier, Daniel Pineda, those are nice wins. Daniel Pineda, very experienced, 28-15. I mean, but you get me. Andre Feely before that, Charles Jourdain. Fuck it. I'm going Nathaniel Wood. I think he's just too well-rounded, too technically sound. I'm concerned because Delgado's a fucking real prospect. So, to be honest, I didn't bet on it. It's a good fight. Valter Walker taking on Louie Sutherland. Who the fuck is that guy? Louie Sutherland. Big, powerful, moves forward, throws big shots, can hit double legs on the fence. It was enough for me to pick him over Atafa, brother. Okay? Against Valter Walker, if Valter Walker gets on top in this fight, this could be really bad. Now, here's a real 265-pound heavyweight. Louie Sutherland has to cut weight to make 265. That is big consequence. That means big consequences for Valter Walker when he's going for heel hooks and if he's got his fucking head on the mat again. When you're going for leg locks, I'm talking about a fucking guy who's killing it with leg locks right now, so it's not a criticism. It's just an assessment. When you're going for leg locks, you want to kazushi the person, off balance them, right? You get this from Danaher. He says this shit, just pulling it straight from him. Kazushi, off balance him. That way, when he's off balance, if his weight is on his hand or his hip or his ass, then you crank that leg, right? Funny enough, Cyril Gane does that part correctly, and his heel hook mechanics are embarrassing. Who'd he get? Dontel Mays with a heel hook? Shame on you, Dontel Mays. Shame on you, okay? You can't attend your local 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu and not learn a better heel hook than that in a day. I mean, Jesus, Dontel. Jesus. I got Valter Walker. I think Valter Walker does get this takedown. I think from the top position, it's a big deal. He can rain down shots. He can, make this thing, make this thing a little bit ugly and a little bit, I think he pounces on people really well. So let's go with him. And I'm going to say he gets a finish too. Valter Walker, TKO over Louie Sutherland. Wouldn't be surprised to see another heel hook though. Al-Selwady versus Camilo. Camilo, solid Muay Thai. Camilo has a solid ability to move forward. Okay. Not good at holding top position. He'll throw up a fucking triangle and lose it. But capable striker. And so against Al-Selwady, it's a test. I'll go with Al-Selwady, though. I think he's going to be more well-rounded. I like the threat of the grappling. I like his movement. He doesn't stand in front of you. Let's say that Al-Selwady can get a decision. Why is the chat not on? Do I have the chat off today? What did I do here? What have I done, chat? Usually there's a live chat. Where has it gone? I will have to figure this out. Just talking to myself here. What's that song? Dancing with Yourself? Dancing with Myself? It's weird. This is strange. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. My problems have all gone. There's no one to... What's the last words? Derive me? Derive me, but you gotta have friends. Somebody. Mateusz Rębecki versus Ľudovít Klein. I'm gonna go with Ľudovít Klein. I think Ľudovít Klein can technically kickbox his way to a decision. Mateusz Rębecki's too wild with it, and he's turning around too quick. How are you gonna get your ass beat like that by Chris Duncan and turn around this quick, man? He's all lacerated up. This motherfucker looks like he got in a fight with Freddy Krueger after he fought Duncan. And now he's going to come in here against a good guy. I mean, Ľudovít Klein, that's too much of a test on this short of notice. You better accept, if you're accepting a short notice one, you better be either this is going to put me in line for a title shot, I need to do this, or I'm going to beat this dude's ass. Ľudovít Klein's going to be a test. Give me the technical kickboxing of Ľudovít Klein over Mateusz Rębecki. Both very experienced, 23-5, 20-3. I think it's going to be 20-4. Ľudovít Klein bouncing back after that Gamrot loss. Ikram Aliskerov over Iron Turtle. Iron Turtle, you got to respect him. Okay? Iron Turtle's got cardio too. So if he could fucking tough it out, boom, get rocked a little bit, stay in there, keep clinching, survive that first round, start to tire Ikram Aliskerov out. Maybe he does it late, but I don't think so, man. I think Ikram Aliskerov here probably puts him out. Ikram Aliskerov probably via knockout. Although I think he could out wrestle him too. I think Ikram Aliskerov could get to his wrestling, start showing us more of his wrestling since he's been liking to strike. And his striking's been looking better. So Ikram Aliskerov, knockout. Nasrat Haqparast and Killian Salkeld. I'm going Nasrat Haqparast. Killian Salkeld opened as the favorite. Now starting to, the lines are about even right now. Nasrat Haqparast, I think, is just too experienced for him. Killian Salkeld taking this on relatively short notice. That's not good. I think that Nasrat Haqparast is going to be able to do his thing, win that third round, show he's a veteran. He's just well-rounded. He's gritty. He moves forward. He throws a lot of shots. Give me Nasrat Haqparast via decision. Alexander Rakic coming back against Azamat Murzakanov. Y'all like Rakic. I don't. Rakic is 0 for 3 in his last 3. Picked against him every time. I'll be honest. Azamat Murzakanov, 15-0, putting people out with big shots. Okay, he's not a model, but can't we get a dad bod that performs in the UFC and show it some goddamn respect? Okay, I'm going with dad bod over Rakic. I think that Murzakanov throws those, little jelly rolls he's packing back there. He's got some fucking love handles. I think he's throwing all that love at Alexander Rakic's chin. I think he's knocking him out. Alexander Rakic has been out for a year, and coming back against a guy who's surging like this, who's on fire, who's in his prime and on the come up. I think this is a tough fucking bounce back for Rakic. It's a similar thing to Rębecki. It's just like wrong opponent, guys. Azamat Murzakanov via knockout. Jailton Almeida is fighting Alexander Volkov. I'll tell you what, if I could switch one, I would, for the 5 most confident, I'm doing it right now. How about that? Update to the 5 most confident. Take out Jailton Almeida and slide in Jaqueline Amorim. I mean, that just has to be the case, right? Jailton Almeida is still the pick, but Volkov's striking is good. I don't want to underestimate his grappling. It's clearly better than ever. He is a full-size heavyweight. He's got power. He's got weapons, knees, and he puts a nice 1-2 on people. Good long lead hook. I think that he's going to be a real test for Jailton Almeida, but I think Jailton passes it. I think he's a little more athletic, a little quicker. The jiu-jitsu's phenomenal, and his wrestling should be enough to get Volkov down to the ground. Give me Jailton Almeida. He's 22-3. Alexander Volkov is 38-11. Now, don't let that deceive you. Alexander Volkov has been looking his best as of late. Like him and Cyril Gane was an even fight, Jailton Almeida, I think, is going to be able to get him down and strangle him. Jailton Almeida rear naked strangle. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. I included Umar Nurmagomedov in the 5 most confident, but Mario Batista ain't no 5-1 dog. Mario Batista is a solid kickboxer. I think, beating up Patchy Mix was actually a good warm-up for this thing. He was working on anti-grappling, switching stances, moving off the center line, bombing the straight cross. I thought he looked brilliant. He fought a really good, technically sound fight. It's literally exactly what you would want to do against a Umar Nurmagomedov who has excellent takedowns and who's a solid kickboxer himself. With all that being said, I mean, Umar Nurmagomedov should be the second best fighter in the division, and I can't pick against him until I see that. Merab showed that he had better cardio than Umar, but as far as Umar could take down Corey Sandhagen too. Umar can out kickbox a lot of guys in the UFC, and so Mario Batista's in there with somebody who's going to keep it close, and then the takedowns should seal it. Umar Nurmagomedov for the dub. Werner Jandiroba fighting Mackenzie Dern for the vacant strawweight title of the UFC. I'm going with Werner Jandiroba. Werner Jandiroba because she is more technically sound with her kickboxing. Makes less mistakes. Mackenzie Dern can be offensively scrappy, but hittable. And then her takedown game it's not always the cleanest work. She would operate better in a gi if it was, 2000 or 1999 and she could go out there in that fucking gi. That would be really helpful for her because you could see the judo influence. You could see her dad's jiu-jitsu behind her takedown game. Verna Jandiroba is just better in those areas. Verna Jandiroba much better on the fence. She does a great job, getting an under over, getting you starting to lean over a little bit, taking that lead hook. She puts her fucking single hook in, goes for the far wrist, bread and butter stuff on the fence. I think it works here. She's good over 5 rounds too. I like Verna's cardio and toughness. Give me Verna Jandiroba, and new strawweight champion of the UFC. And now it's time for your main event of the evening. Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Tom Aspinall is the best heavyweight there's ever been. I don't really see anybody beating him. I think a prime Cain Velasquez gives him a run for his money. I think Francis Ngannou gives him a run for his money. John Jones in his prime gives him a run for his money. You go down the list. I mean, there's been a lot of solid heavyweights. I'll even give Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier a little bit of love. However, Tom Aspinall is different. He's faster. His hands are better. He's more well-rounded. His jiu-jitsu game's black belt level. His TKOs, he pounces on people. He knows how to finish fights. Tom Aspinall goes out there and puts these guys away. And I love to see that because it's not in an irresponsible way. And when you get them out of there, you don't have to run the risk anymore. Chael Sonnen took Anderson Silva down in the first round. He took him down in the second, third, and fourth as well. But in that fucking 5th round, he got triangled. Tom Aspinall doesn't leave it up to when he's tired and the fight gets a little bit more on the table. He just takes these guys out. They don't get a chance to come back. So that's really the way to do it, man. This ain't football where you got to play 4 quarters. Tom Aspinall just gets you out of there in the first round, and it's beautiful to watch. Tom Aspinall, first round finish. I think he's going to be able to put some punches on Ciryl Gane, take him down, elbow him in the head, big ground and pound. Referee steps in. Tom Aspinall via TKO, defending his heavyweight title, back in the UFC, and beating a guy who really shouldn't be getting a title shot. He's getting the title shot because he's championship look, right? Ciryl Gane has an entertaining style. Fans, I mean, they just, they would not be mad to see a Ciryl Gane heavyweight champ. He looks the part. However, Ciryl Gane is getting his 4th UFC title fight. Beat Derek Lewis, right? And, it's fucking Derek Lewis, but at least he's got a little bit of power and a little bit of a threat. You saw what DC did to Derek Lewis. I mean, when Derek Lewis gets to the A game, when he gets to the top of the division, you see how he performs. Although I'm a Black Beast fan. He fought Francis Ngannou, and, in a terrible performance for him, where he went for, like I said, one of the worst heel hooks in MMA history. Really flat performance by him. He got strangled by John Jones in the beginning of the first round in a really embarrassing one. And now he's up against the Tom Aspinall. Guys, I think Tom's going to come in there and murk him. Ciryl Gane and Volkov was a good fight. It was close. Ciryl Gane is, a number 4, number 5 heavyweight. Maybe number 3. I don't know. But he ain't number 1. Tom Aspinall finishes him. Tom Aspinall, Verna Jandiroba, Umar Nurmagomedov, Jailton Almeida, Azamat Mirzakhanov, Nasrat Haqparast, Ikram Aliskerov, Ľudovít Klein. Give me Al-Selwady. Give me Valter Walker. I guess I'll take Nathaniel Wood. God damn. I'll flip a coin on that one. Hamdy Abdelwahab, Azat Maksum, and Jaqueline Amorim. Those are my full card predictions for UFC 321 going down in Abu Dhabi. Remember, Verna Jandiroba's already fought in Abu Dhabi. So, I think that and I see Mackenzie Dern out there with Jason Perillo's girlfriend. That's wife. I'm sorry. They got married. Girlfriend when I first met her over at Ruka. So, if you're wondering who that girl is that she's grappling with and suntanning with out by the pool in the UFC embeddeds, she trains over at Ruka with her. She's got some decent, just like a Taekwondo karate background or something. And obviously Jason Perillo's taught her how to box. But just Mackenzie Dern out there just with her. I just feel like, she's talking about, I'm having trouble adjusting to the time zone. I'm taking note of all this shit. And then, Ciryl Gane eating that big ass dinner. I just feel like Ciryl Gane is so white collar, Ciryl Gane is so, he's not gritty, he's in this 5-star dinner with his team. He's dancing while he's eating this fucking gourmet food, which looked delicious, by the way. But it's like, bro, I think you need a little bit more of a Jack Della Maddalena mindset, okay? Sweatpants and the hoodie, we're here to die, you know? That ain't Cyril Gane. I think Tom Aspinall is going to dig deep and put him out. All right. I appreciate every single one of you. If you guys would like to see who I bet on, super confident in the bets this week. I dropped a lock, another lock, and a dog of the week over on Premium Channel. Direct message at Mike Finch Show on Instagram if you'd like to see who I am betting on. And until next time, y'all already know it's peace and love.